Hey Taurus, I need to pull cards for you right now because the energy coming through is honestly so revealing. Someone in your world got some really questionable advice about you, and now they are absolutely spiraling because reality is hitting them hard. Like they listened to the wrong people and now they are seeing the actual truth, and it is completely different from what they were told. Let me show you what the cards are saying about this whole situation. So I am shuffling the deck and asking about this person who received bad advice about you and what is happening now that they are discovering the truth. The energy feels like someone who made assumptions based on what other people said instead of trusting their own experience with you. And now they are dealing with the consequences of listening to the wrong voices. Alright, Taurus, the first card coming out is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is huge, because this card represents lasting abundance, legacy, family connections, and long-term security. When this shows up in the context of someone who got bad advice about you, it tells me that whoever gave them advice really tried to paint you as someone who was not stable or not serious about building something meaningful. They might have told this person that you were not committed to long-term plans or that you were not the type to build something lasting. And Taurus, you know that is absolutely ridiculous because your entire energy is about creating solid foundations and building things that stand the test of time. The Ten of Pentacles is showing me that the truth they are discovering now is that you are actually incredibly focused on legacy and building something real. While they were listening to people tell them you were flaky or uncommitted, they are now seeing evidence everywhere that you are the complete opposite. This card shows generational wealth, family values, and the kind of stability that most people only dream about. So imagine how this person feels realizing they potentially pushed away or doubted someone who embodies everything the Ten of Pentacles represents. What makes this even more interesting is that the Ten of Pentacles does not just talk about money and material success. It talks about emotional security and the feeling of being truly home with someone. The bad advice they got probably tried to convince them you could not provide that feeling of safety and belonging. But now they are seeing how you create spaces where people feel protected and valued. They are watching you build your life with intention and realizing that everything they were told was completely backwards. This person is looking at your stability, your ability to plan for the future, and your commitment to creating something meaningful, and they are absolutely losing it because they almost believed the lies. The Ten of Pentacles also suggests that you come from good foundations yourself, or you are actively creating them. This person is discovering that you have substance, real depth, and the ability to offer something truly valuable in a connection. The advice they got tried to make you seem like you were all surface or temporary, but the truth is revealing you are all about depth and permanence. They are probably kicking themselves for even entertaining doubts about you based on what other people said. Next card I am pulling is the Ten of Cups, and wow, okay, the universe is really making a statement here because this is the card of emotional fulfillment, harmonious relationships, and genuine happiness. So not only did someone try to tell this person you were not stable in material terms, but they also tried to convince them you could not offer emotional satisfaction or real joy. The Ten of Cups is literally the card of having it all in terms of emotional contentment and loving connections. What this tells me, Taurus, is that whoever gave this person advice about you really painted you as someone who could not make them happy, or who would not prioritize their emotional well-being. They might have said you were too focused on practical matters and not romantic enough, or that you were emotionally unavailable. And let me tell you, the Ten of Cups is showing that reality is proving the exact opposite. This person is now witnessing or remembering how you actually made them feel, and it was probably the most emotionally fulfilled they have been in a very long time. The Ten of Cups represents the dream relationship, the happy family, the feeling of complete contentment when you are with the right person. This person is realizing you offered them exactly that, or you had the potential to create that with them. And they listened to people who told them to doubt it or walk away from it. Can you imagine the regret they are feeling right now? They are seeing you either with someone else who is experiencing that Ten of Cups energy with you, or they are seeing you create that beautiful life for yourself and realizing they could have been part of it. What really stands out about having both tens appear is that these are completion cards, fulfillment cards. The advice they got tried to paint you as incomplete or lacking in some way, but the truth is you are actually offering complete packages in terms of both material stability and emotional satisfaction. This person is discovering you are not missing anything. You are not half-committed or half-hearted about anything. When you invest in something or someone, you bring your whole self and you create these complete, fulfilling experiences and situations. The Ten of Cups also indicates that you probably have a really beautiful vision for how you want your life to look, and you are not afraid to work toward making that vision real. The people who gave bad advice probably mocked that vision or told this person you were being unrealistic. But now this person is watching you actually manifest that beautiful life, and they are seeing there was nothing unrealistic about it at all. You knew exactly what you were building, and you stayed true to that vision regardless of what anyone said. They are discovering you are genuine in your desires for real love, real connection, and real happiness, and that is not something you fake or exaggerate. The third card I am getting is the Hanged Man, and this is so interesting because it completely shifts the energy. The Hanged Man is about suspension, seeing things from a different perspective and the pause before a major breakthrough. In this situation, it is showing me that this person is currently in a state of complete suspension regarding you. They are stuck because everything they were told is being contradicted by what they are seeing and experiencing now. The Hanged Man represents that uncomfortable space where you cannot move forward with your old beliefs, but you have not fully integrated the new truth yet. What is happening is this person got advice that made them see you in a very specific way. Maybe they were told you were not worth their time, or that you had all these negative qualities, and they built an entire perspective around that advice. But now the truth is forcing them to completely flip their understanding, and the Hanged Man shows they are hanging there in that transitional state, trying to reconcile what they were told with what is actually real. It is honestly kind of torturous for them because they are realizing they might have made some really significant decisions based on completely false information. The Hanged Man also suggests sacrifice and what had to be given up. This person is now understanding what they sacrificed by listening to bad advice about you. They might have sacrificed a genuine connection. They might have sacrificed their own happiness. They might have sacrificed time they could have spent building something real with you. And now they are suspended in this awareness, unable to undo what was done, but fully conscious of what was lost. That is a really difficult position to be in, and the Hanged Man shows they are absolutely stuck in it right now. There is also this element with the Hanged Man of enforced reflection. This person cannot escape thinking about this situation and about you. They are being forced by circumstances or by their own consciousness to really examine what happened and see the truth clearly. The Hanged Man does not allow you to keep running from reality. It holds you in place until you really look at things and understand them from a new angle. So this person is getting a complete education right now on who you actually are versus who they were told you were, and they cannot avoid that learning process. What is also significant about the Hanged Man is that it comes before death and transformation in the major arcana journey. So this period of suspension and revelation is preparing this person for a major transformation in how they see you and how they see the situation. They are being prepared to let go of all the false narratives completely and step into a totally new understanding. But right now, they are in that really uncomfortable middle place where they see the truth but have not fully processed how to move forward with it. Moving to the fourth card, and I am getting the Ace of Swords, which is perfect because this represents clear truth, mental clarity, and breakthrough realizations. After being suspended in confusion with the Hanged Man, this person is now getting hit with the Ace of Swords, which is like the sword of truth cutting through all the lies and confusion. This card is saying they are experiencing moments of absolute clarity, where they suddenly understand exactly what happened and exactly how wrong the advice they received really was. The Ace of Swords is the beginning of a new mental cycle and new understanding. For this person, it represents the start of seeing you accurately for the first time, without all the distorted information clouding their judgment. It is like someone turned on really bright lights and now they can see clearly what was always there but they were missing before. And Taurus, I have to tell you, the Ace of Swords does not bring gentle realizations. It brings sharp, undeniable truth that you cannot unsee once it is revealed to you. What this card is showing me is that this person is having those lightning bolt moments where everything suddenly makes sense. They are probably replaying interactions with you in their mind and suddenly understanding your motivations, your intentions, and your character in a completely different light. Things you said or did that they misinterpreted based on the bad advice are now making perfect sense. They are seeing your authenticity, your integrity, and your genuine nature so clearly now, and it is actually painful for them because it makes the advice they got look even worse by comparison. The Ace of Swords also represents justice and fair judgment. This person is finally giving you a fair assessment instead of one that was poisoned by other people's opinions. They are using their own mind, their own logic, and their own observations to form conclusions about you, and those conclusions are completely different from what they were told. This is them reclaiming their mental sovereignty and deciding to trust their own perceptions instead of second-hand information. And what they are perceiving now is that you are actually everything those people said you were not. There is also an element of communication with the Ace of Swords. This person might be on the verge of wanting to communicate with you about their realizations, or they might be having internal conversations where they are finally telling themselves the truth about the situation. The sword cuts both ways, though. So while they are seeing the truth about you clearly, they are also having to face some uncomfortable truths about themselves and about how they allowed others to influence their judgment so heavily. That self-awareness is part of what the Ace of Swords brings. The fifth card is the Knight of Swords, and this is telling me that after those breakthrough realizations, this person is moving fast mentally. The Knight of Swords charges forward with intensity and speed, and in this context, it shows this person is racing through thoughts and realizations about you at an incredible pace. Once that Ace of Swords clarity hit them, they cannot slow down their mental process anymore. They are thinking about you constantly, analyzing everything, and probably driving themselves a bit crazy with how quickly their understanding is shifting. The Knight of Swords can be quite aggressive in energy, and I am sensing this person is actually getting angry. Not at you, but at themselves and at the people who gave them such terrible advice. They are starting to feel really frustrated that they allowed themselves to be influenced and that they potentially damaged or lost something valuable because of it. The Knight of Swords charges in without much caution, and right now this person is charging toward the full truth without being able to pace themselves or protect their feelings in the process. What is interesting about this knight is that he represents direct communication and unfiltered truth. So there might be a moment coming or happening now where this person is very directly confronting the reality of the situation, either internally or externally. They might reach out to you suddenly with very direct communication, or they might confront the people who gave them bad advice, or they might just be having very direct and honest conversations with themselves about what really happened. The Knight of Swords does not do subtle or gentle, so however this plays out, it is going to be pretty intense and straightforward. This knight can also indicate rushed decisions and impulsive actions driven by these new realizations. This person might suddenly want to fix everything immediately or make big gestures to show they understand now. But the Knight of Swords energy can sometimes be a bit chaotic because it is moving so fast without a lot of emotional processing happening alongside the mental activity. So while they are getting clarity, they might also be a bit all over the place in terms of what they want to do about it. Their thoughts are racing faster than their ability to emotionally integrate everything. The Knight of Swords is also a truth seeker and truth teller. This person has switched from believing lies about you to becoming almost obsessed with understanding the real truth. They want to know everything accurately now. They want to see clearly, and they want to correct any false narratives they might have spread or believed. That knight energy is relentless in pursuit of what is real and authentic, and right now, you are the subject of that pursuit. They want to understand who you really are without any filters or distortions from outside influences. The final card I am pulling is the Hierophant, and this is such a powerful card to end on because it represents tradition, proper guidance, wisdom, and authentic teaching. In contrast to the terrible advice this person received before, the Hierophant represents what proper counsel and wisdom actually looks like. This card is showing me that this person is now seeking or finding real guidance about the situation, rather than the misguided opinions they got before. The Hierophant can represent a counselor, a wise friend, a spiritual advisor, or even their own inner wisdom finally speaking up. After going through all this chaos and realization, they are now turning to more reliable sources of truth and understanding. They might be talking to someone who actually knows you and can give them accurate information, or they might be listening to their own deeper intuition, which they ignored before. The Hierophant brings proper order and understanding after chaos. What really stands out about this card in your reading, Taurus, is that the Hierophant is actually ruled by Taurus in traditional astrology. So this is your energy. Your card coming through to show that ultimately your authentic nature and values are what win out here. Everything you represent, the stability, the loyalty, the commitment to real values, the dedication to building things properly, all of that is being recognized and validated now. The Hierophant represents doing things the right way and having strong values, and that is exactly what you embody. This card is also about lasting commitments and proper partnerships. The person who got bad advice about you is realizing you are actually someone who values real commitment and who approaches connections with integrity and seriousness. The advice they got probably painted you as someone who is not serious or reliable, but the Hierophant is showing them you are actually one of the most dependable and value-driven people they could connect with. You do not play games, you do not do things halfway, and you respect the sacred nature of real commitments. The Hierophant can also indicate that this person might seek formal closure or formal new beginnings. They might want to have a proper conversation with you, they might want to officially acknowledge they were wrong, or they might want to explore starting fresh with accurate understanding this time. This card represents doing things through proper channels and with appropriate seriousness, so however this unfolds, it is going to have a sense of weight and importance to it. They are not taking this lightly anymore. There is also a teaching element to the Hierophant. This entire experience is teaching this person a massive lesson about trusting their own judgment versus listening to other people's biased opinions. They are learning about discernment, about the danger of accepting secondhand information without verification, and about the importance of forming their own authentic impressions of people. You are inadvertently their teacher in this situation, Taurus, showing them through your consistent, authentic presence what real integrity and value actually look like. So Taurus, let me bring this all together for you. Someone received genuinely bad advice about who you are and what you represent. They were told things that painted you in a negative or diminished light, probably by people who did not really know you or who had their own reasons for wanting to create doubt. And this person listened to that advice and made decisions based on it. But now, reality is completely contradicting everything they were told. The Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Cups show they are discovering you actually represent complete fulfillment both materially and emotionally. You are not lacking anything. You are not half-committed or unreliable. You are building real stability and offering genuine emotional satisfaction. The Hanged Man shows they are currently suspended in this awareness, stuck between their old false beliefs and the new truth they are seeing. The Ace of Swords brings those sharp, clear realizations where they suddenly understand how wrong the advice was and how right you actually are. The Knight of Swords shows them racing through these thoughts and revelations at intense speed, probably feeling frustrated and angry about being misled. And the Hierophant brings it home by showing that your authentic Taurus values and integrity are ultimately what shine through and teach them the most important lesson. This person is absolutely losing it right now because discovering you were nothing like what they were told is probably one of the most significant wake-up calls they have experienced. They are dealing with regret, clarity, frustration, and a complete reorientation of their understanding all at once. And you, Taurus, you just kept being yourself throughout all of it. You did not change who you are based on what anyone said. You kept building your stable, beautiful life with integrity, and now that truth is undeniable. I would love to know if this resonates with your situation, Taurus. Can you think of someone who might have received questionable information about you? Does this energy of someone having major realizations about who you really are feel familiar? Drop a comment and let me know what is happening in your world because these cards are bringing through such specific energy.